How you doing, man?
Hello.
I'm Detective Chiz on this detective show.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
This is 28-year-old Dane Owens. He's been brought in for questioning after his ex-girlfriend, Rowena Irani, was found dead at her home in Wichita, Kansas in October 2016. Rowena had recently broken off a 2-month relationship with Dane, so naturally, he was one of the first people police wanted to speak to. What's particularly interesting about this case is that when detectives initially asked Dane to come in for questioning, they only mentioned that it was related to his ex-girlfriend without going into any specific details. Despite this, up until now, Dane hasn't once asked what happened to her or if she is okay. This apparent lack of curiosity or worry raises intriguing questions about his mindset, emotional state, and potential involvement in the events that led to Rowena's death.
Let's see. Time now. It's about 7:52 p.m., so 1952. And today is October 3rd. I've tried to think in terms of date, then month, but I've always gone month, date.
Time goes by so fast, too.
And this is room number 3. Your first name's Dane?
Yes.
How do you spell it?
D-A-N-E.
What's your middle initial, Dane?
T.
And your last name?
Owens, O-W-E-N-S.
As the interrogation begins, the detectives start by gathering basic information from Dane. He mentions he lives in Manhattan, Kansas, and works at the Veterans Center on the K-State campus. Interestingly, when asked about his handedness, Dane provides a detailed response. He states he's normally right-handed, but due to multiple surgeries, he can use his left hand as well. This seemingly minor detail could become significant later in the investigation. The questioning then moves to his personal life. Dane confirms he's single and provides information about his parents. He also discusses his military service, revealing he was in the Army from 2007 to 2015, including time in active duty and the National Guard. Throughout this initial questioning, Dane appears cooperative, answering questions readily. However, he occasionally mentions memory issues, attributing them to medication he's taking. The detectives continue to build a comprehensive picture of Dane's life, asking about his siblings, education, and even his religious beliefs. This thorough background check is a common tactic in interrogations, allowing detectives to establish rapport and gather potentially relevant information. As the questioning progresses, the conversation shifts to Dane's medical history.
Now I'm going to ask you a set of questions here that I ask everybody I talk to. Some of them sound a little strange to people because they're sitting there thinking, why is he asking me that? Mm-hmm. But I ask everybody. Okay? Have you been drinking today?
Yes.
Alcohol?
I had 1 beer.
You know what kind of beer?
It was that root beer stuff.
Was it good?
No.
Yeah,
I'm not really a drinker. I actually don't really drink at all.
Okay. When was it you took that? Do you know?
I actually had that shortly before the, what was it, I'd say 6-ish.
Okay. Were you drunk?
No.
Okay. You're not drunk now, are you?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Do you use any medication that you're not supposed to use today?
No.
Take any drugs? Marijuana, cocaine,
I don't do any
meth,
drugs or
heroin?
anything like that.
You didn't get high today?
I mean, on the medicine, when I took all that hydro, yes,
Sure.
but I don't believe in doing drugs and all that stuff.
Okay. Do you feel like you're still high from the medication you took?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit?
Okay.
Not as bad as I was. Of course, the candy bar and the water helped. But yeah, I'm still a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
You read and write English okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you wear glasses or anything?
I do.
It's kind of weird. I have like I have 20/10 vision, but my eyes just get tired fast, and so it kind of just to help in the evening and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just to see clear.
Okay. You know that we're police officers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, we're not in uniform or anything, but...
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Dane has now mentioned to the officers a couple of times that he had been drinking and may be under the influence. A search of his house corroborated this statement as they found an empty beer bottle on the counter, as well as an open bottle of over-the-counter pain medication.
Hey, Dane. Can I ask you something, man? I noticed that there's a pill bottle there. Is that yours?
Yes.
What happened to all those pills? Have you taken them all?
Yeah, I've been taking. My mom has these sort of amounts, so I've been.
Well, it said that there was 100 that was filled less than a week ago. You haven't taken 100 pills, have you?
No, and that's why I called my mom. But I was like, "Is there less than 100 pills in here?" No, that's not.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that you're not gonna fall over on us or anything. Did you have that beer too?
Yeah.
Just the one, or how many?
Just
Okay. Do you feel like you're out of it or anything? Do you want an ambulance? Can I call an ambulance just to make sure you're okay?
The police are generally allowed to continue interrogating a suspect who is under the influence of alcohol or drugs, as long as certain conditions are met. The suspect must be read their Miranda rights and voluntarily waive them, even if they are intoxicated. The courts have ruled that a Miranda waiver can be valid even if the suspect is under the influence, as long as they understand their rights. The suspect must be capable of understanding the nature of their rights and the consequences of waiving them. This is why you'll notice the officers taking extra time to explain each right to Dane, ensuring he comprehends what's being said. The waiver must be voluntary and not coerced. The officers will be careful to document Dane's responses and behavior to demonstrate that he's making his own decisions. As we watch this interrogation unfold, pay close attention to how the officers interact with Dane. They're not just going through the motions, they're actively assessing his ability to understand and engage with the process. This careful approach is crucial, as it could significantly impact the admissibility of any statements Dane might make. Remember, the key question here isn't whether Dane is completely sober, but whether he's capable of making a knowing and voluntary decision to speak with the investigators. This delicate balance will be at the heart of everything that follows.
Well, tell me this. Considering the pills you took, the beer you drank, do you feel like you are not able to make free and willing voluntary decisions as far as whether or not to talk to us?
I'm coherent enough for that.
Okay. You understand you're at City Building in Wichita, you're in our interview room.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes,
talking to a couple police officers.
Yes, sir. I know my stakes and all three.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you understand, okay?
Yes, sir.
Because we're going to go over your rights here in a minute. I want to make sure you understand those, because I don't know exactly what all's going on or where this is all going to go, but I certainly don't want to later have someone say, why didn't you read him his rights, or, something so like that. There's always somebody that's going to be looking over our shoulder that's wanting to know why we didn't follow what's our normal protocol.
I understand.
Which is what this is. Okay. What I like to do myself, this is room number 3. And once again, the time is 8/20/2020. Still on October 3rd. It's a Monday evening. What I like to do is have people read the form to me, because otherwise I'm just droning, and I know for me,
So I know what I'm.
I don't listen to people real well sometimes.
Oh yeah, I
So
can
it's
understand that.
just easier for me to have people. Can you read that first line?
Yes, for your rights.
Yes.
Before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights.
Okay, do you understand that?
I guess for the most part, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I guess could you elaborate? Just that we're on the same page. I mean,
Well, yeah, you've heard of the Miranda decision.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes,
You've
sir.
seen on TV,
Mhm.
people get read their rights, whether on a TV show or something like that.
Yes.
So that they understand that they don't have to talk to the police. Is essentially what it boils down to.
Yes.
And that's what that first line says, is that you understand that before I ask you questions about what happened or what's going on, that we're going to go over your rights.
Oh, yes,
and that
sir.
you
Yes,
need
sir.
to understand them. Okay? That's what I want to make sure of.
Okay.
Okay? But you just initial right there. All that for me means is that you've read that, not that anything else. Okay. Can you read that next line?
Oh, yes, sir. You have the right to remain silent.
You understand what that means?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Anything you say can be used against you in court.
You understand that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and have him with you during questioning.
You understand that?
I do, and I'm not gonna lie, I've never, this whole situation, of course, it's, it's a situation, and I've never been in anything like this, so I'm not, 100% sure what I'm, supposed to be doing, everything like that. I mean, I'm going to be honest to the best of not to the best of my ability, but I'm not trying to hide anything. I just want,
Okay.
I want us to be honest.
Well, the statement's pretty self-explanatory, don't you think? What does it mean to you?
Basically, to me, it means that, if I need advice from a lawyer, I guess, that's all I can really take from it. Like, I have to...
It essentially says that, and it doesn't essentially, it says you have the right, it's your right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions about what happened today. Okay? And to have him with you during questioning if you wanted to. That would be your right. And I just want to make sure you understand that you have that right.
Okay. I guess how...
you understand the right. I'm not asking you at the moment whether you want a lawyer or not. We'll get to that part.
Okay.
I'm just asking you if you understand that you have the right to talk to one and to have one with you if you wanted to.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And I guess, I guess we will go over that too, but how does that, do I just say, yeah, I want one, and, how does that all work?
Well, that's just it. And you can tell me right now. If you want to talk to a lawyer before you talk to us, if that's what you want, then all you have to do is tell me that, and that's fine. Okay? That doesn't change what we do at all other than whether or not we ask you questions or not at this point. Okay? So that's up to you. That is completely up to you. I have to kind of work with what you're telling me and what I'm hearing, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
You're asking me questions. I'm not hearing you make statements, okay? I have not heard you say that you want to talk to a lawyer before you talk to us.
Okay.
If that's what you want at the moment, and you can later on in this, it will explain that if right now you don't want to talk to a lawyer, and then you start talking to us and then say, yes, I do, you have that right. Just because at some point you say, yes, I want to talk to you, that doesn't mean you don't have the right to say, look, maybe I don't want to talk. But that's up to you. These are all things up to you. I'm not trying to give you any advice.
I completely understand that.
I'm just trying to make sure you understand the process. You've never had your Miranda rights read to you before, have you?
No.
Never been in a situation where sitting in an interview room with the police, I take it? Okay. That's why I want to make sure you understand your rights. That's the whole purpose of this.
Okay.
And these are your rights.
Okay.
And you are an adult. The military's entrusted you with weapons and with the ability and when necessary, to use those weapons. You're an adult. You're somebody that they've determined could make decisions. And that's kind of the place I'm at. I just want to make sure you have the information you need to make the decision you want to make.
Okay.
All right. So if you're telling me, and that's something I want to clear up real quick, if you're telling me right at this second, yes, I want to talk to a lawyer before I talk to you, then I'd like you to tell me that. If not, then we'll continue with the form, okay?
Okay.
But that's up to you.
I mean, 'cause I'm a person that's going to be honest. I don't know.
I mean, understand, you're not going to offend us either way. You're not going to offend us if you say, sorry, guys, I just want to talk to a lawyer first. But if you continue with the form and then say the same thing happens. You don't offend us. But if you say you want to talk to us, we'll sit here and let you tell us what's going on. But that's up to you.
I mean, because that's the thing is, I mean, I just want to be honest about stuff. So I mean, I don't.
Well, that's up to you.
I completely understand what it is. I mean, if I guess I want one later, I can do that. So.
Well, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I completely understand that.
Okay.
I guess that was that last one. So, if you cannot hire a lawyer, the court will appoint one for you.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And that's what we were discussing. If you say, yeah, I'll answer some questions, and then you think again, maybe I don't want to later, it doesn't matter how long later.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is say so, and we'll stop.
I have read this statement of my rights, and I understand that. I understand what my rights are.
You understand these rights?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me. Have these rights in mind. Do you wish to talk to us now? Yes, I do.
Okay. And that would be without an attorney at this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I understand that. And then I sign.
Please. Still October 3rd. Oh, I'm having trouble adjusting to October. I keep thinking in terms of September. All right. Well, Dane, like the officers told you, I think, coming up here, we want to talk about what happened with Rowena today. Is it Rowena?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I get, you've been telling me here the last few minutes that you want to be honest, you want to tell us, this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm more than happy to sit back and listen. Okay, that's the easiest way. So, I guess, can you give us a little idea what happened today?
Can I do background information?
Sure, feel free.
Okay. I'll pretty much kind of just start kind of from the beginning or whatever. We've been friends for 5 years, a little over 5 years. We started, we've kind of had this on and off dating, wanting to date kind of thing going on for, the past 5 years, but it never worked out, XYZ, whatever. And the reason why I want to explain all this other stuff is it does have a purpose. I'm not just trying to waste time, I promise.
You're good.
We've been dating, and it would have been 2 months from the 24th of September. It would have been 2 months, so we started dating like July 24th. And I guess I've been dealing with a lot of stuff. I mean, just day after day. I mean, getting up every day is just difficult with all the pain and just, friends getting killed, just the war trauma stuff. And it's not an excuse, but I'm just saying it's been like that for me. I've tried to find help. I'm an introvert, so I keep things built up inside. I'm a very, this may seem very contradicting, but I'm a very caring person. I'll go out of my way to help anyone and anything, and so, I mean, when it was last week, she was just kind of acting just kind of funny. It's really weird. And I was like, is everything okay? Or, you know, what's going on? And then, I mean, basically just kind of said, it's like, I just don't think, she's kind of doing the thing where she doesn't think, you know, it'll work out because of something way, way, way in the future. I'm just like, well, doesn't seem logical to me, whatever, okay.
Listening to Dane's account of events, it's clear that he's trying to trivialize his relationship and breakup with Rowena. But let's take a step back and look at what actually transpired. In 2015, Dane was discharged from the military after sustaining injuries that left him with chronic pain and limited mobility. This medical discharge marked a significant turning point in his life, leaving him struggling to adjust to civilian life. It was during this transition that Dane met Rowena through her older brother Rashad. Their relationship was complicated from the start. They'd known each other for years, but it was always on again, off again. In July 2016, they decided to finally give dating a real shot. But things quickly took a turn. Within just 2 months, Dane became intensely focused on Rowena, telling her that he wanted to get married as soon as possible because he was heading for 30 and wanted to start a family. This naturally seemed to scare Rowena off, as she was still only 22 at the time, and marriage wasn't part of her immediate future. This intensity, however, was a common occurrence when it came to Dane and romantic relationships. After just 2 months of dating, Rowena decided to end the relationship. But Dane didn't take the breakup well. He began constantly messaging her, reaching out through various channels. His persistence escalated to the point where Rowena's family had to step in, threatening to involve the police if he didn't back off. It was only then, faced with potential legal consequences, that Dane suddenly agreed to stop contacting Rowena. This abrupt change in behavior, from obsessive pursuit to apparent acceptance, is a red flag we need to keep in mind as we continue to listen to Dane's version of events.
And the biggest thing is, okay, can I write something down just so that way you guys can understand this whole, this kind of mess. So, Rowena, Rashad's her brother, and then he and Asha are married. And then Mizbah is Asha's sister. So, and I mean, I've been best friends with Asha and Mizbah. I mean, since I got out of the military, since I went back home here I went to Wichita State for a semester, and that's where I met them. And of course, Rashad, I met him too. And we've all been friends, good friends, everything like this. And Rowena's kind of been the drama one of all of them. And so, once stuff has kind of been, I don't know, it's been picking up and acting weird for me for about the past month, and I've been asking for my friends, hey, you know, would you want to help me, or, you know, and and specifically those two, I mean, they just kind of leave me high and dry or whatever, cool. And I'm not trying to someone that, and this is gonna sound weird, but like, so I asked Rowena, I was like, what's going on? And I mean, she was just like, oh, whatever. And I'm just like, this is the, like, second time I've just asked you. I'm just clarifying what's going on. And then I would ask her, I was like, hey, is everything all right with your sister? I mean, like, just try to be normal. I'm not trying to create drama. I'm not trying to harass. I'm not trying to do any of that shit. And so, and he was like, well, do you disrespect my relationship with my sister? He can't really tell you. I'm like, I completely understand that. And so then I asked Rowena, I didn't even ask her, like, the other day, I just sent her a text, just like, because we've been friends for 5 years. I was like, hey, what's going on? You know, how was work? And then she just, like, right after that, blocks me from everything. And then Rashad's like, you need to just stop talking to her because, like, she'll press charges and all this stuff. I'm just like, I just asked her how her day was. Like, she never gave me an indication of anything that was like, stop, whatever. You know, I'm just trying to be your friend. I'm not, I understand she didn't want to do this, whatever, fine, cool. And so then, I mean, I would try and ask, you know, Officer or Mizba, you know, hey, just to talk, just to vent. And of course, no, they didn't want to do it. And I'm just like, all right, because I'm just like, all right. So I had no one really to vent to. And then I would vent to a couple of my other, I tried to talk to my mom, and because my mom's good friends with all of them too. And so I would try and talk to my mom, like, hey, I mean, what's, like, she asked me, hey, how are things doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that well. She's like, all right, well, I hope things get better. And I'm just like, well, you could ask and, like, see what's going on, kind of thing, because I haven't been doing that well. And, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a breakup, but it's more than, it's not the breakup that really is the problem. Like, whatever. I mean, yeah, breakups are hard, whatever. I mean, I didn't even see this coming. It literally was just blindsided. Okay, whatever. And so, I mean, I ended up drinking a little bit more. Drinking a little bit more for me is just drinking like once. I just drank a bottle once over the weekend. And, you know, I'm already, you know, we got into a car accident. My car flooded out. You know, I'm having severe back pain. Like, just stuff kind of was piling up. And I was just like, and for the longest time, I've still just kind of like not know who I am. I mean, I'm still trying to figure that out. And I mean, so to kind of get down to today, today didn't happen at all how I honestly don't know what happened. This morning I took my pain meds. Of course, you know, I took a little bit more than I did. And I knew that I had no intentions of hurting anyone, because I've never hurt anyone. At least I didn't do that. And so, I just went over to her house, because I knew what time she kind of got off, stuff, whatever. And, I thought her parents would be home, too, so it was not like, you know, I knew she was going to be home alone. And so, she let me in, and I was kind of a little already, because first off, you know, I did kind of a no-no, you know, driving kind of under the influence, you know, with my shoulder. And so, I was already maxed out with everything, and, we just talked for a second, and honestly, like, I don't even really know why, but, I just had the gun, and it's not because I had it for her. I usually would carry one around just because, I'm just kind of paranoid like that. And honestly, right when, it just happened so fast, just talk, and then, like, I didn't even pull the trigger or anything, all I remember is it went off. And I was just like, what just happened? I don't know what happened. I wasn't trying to hurt her or anything. It went off, and I literally just didn't know what to do. I've been in combat and all that stuff, and I literally just panicked and freaked out because I didn't even, it was just in here. I just had it in here, and we were talking, and then I don't know if because of how I was already kind of loopy a little bit, if it just I was already just woo, and she just made me jump or something, I don't know, but I wasn't trying to hurt her at all, and it went off, and it's not an excuse for anything. I don't know, this whole week has just piled up, and I don't know, I don't even remember it going off, and it went off, and I didn't know what to do. I care about her, but I know, as a friend, too, I wouldn't. I don't know.
Up until now, the detective has given Dane free rein to tell his story. This approach has yielded a crucial admission. Dane has confessed to shooting Rowena, though he claims it was an accidental discharge triggered by his PTSD. But the interrogation is about to shift gears. Watch as the detective turns up the heat, methodically dismantling the inconsistencies in Dane's account. Pay close attention as they dissect Dane's actions before and after the shooting, challenging his claim of an accidental discharge. A key point of contention will be Dane's decision to bring a gun to Rowena's house, a fact that could suggest premeditation. The detective will also interrogate Dane's behavior following the murder. They're searching for signs of calculated actions rather than the panic you'd expect from someone who just accidentally killed a person. As the questioning intensifies, observe how the interrogator peels back the layers of Dane's story. Are his actions consistent with an involuntary reaction, or do they point to something more deliberate? The answers may lie in the details Dane has yet to reveal.
What happened after the gun went off?
I was just looking, I just saw her, she just fell down, and I was just like, I just didn't know what to do. I was like, this is not gonna look good no matter how I do this.
What'd you do right after that? Right after the gun goes off, what do you do?
I just stared at her. I was just like, well, I tried to see what
Did you walk over to her?
Yeah.
What happened?
I just got overwhelmed with emotions. I tried to. I honestly. I thought she was dead. And I didn't no intentions of doing that.
Okay.
I haven't done anything ever in my life like this. It's, I mean, I've been in combat, I've seen people shot. But this is something completely different. And I know this is...
Did you try to help her? I mean, at that point?
I tried to see where I was bleeding. And I mean, from my knowledge, I was like, there's nothing I can do.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen gunshot wounds to that before.
Okay. Did you get anything to try to stop the bleeding?
Honestly, right after I saw that and I went over to see it, I just...
What'd you do right afterwards, Dane?
I honestly just freaked out. And I just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and I just freaking...
Okay. Right after you go over to her.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're helping us. I appreciate that. I know this isn't easy, Dane. Okay? Get that, okay? We know this isn't easy. We appreciate the fact that you're trying to be honest. We appreciate the fact you're not playing a game. You're being a man. That's what you've done for the last however many years. And we do appreciate that.
What I did was, I went over, I looked at her, and of course it just brought up all of them, like combat stuff that I've seen, and it just flashback, flashback, flashback. And I didn't want to lose anyone else. And so after I did that, I mean, I mean, it felt like for everybody it was just, just a couple minutes. And I thought she was dead, and so I left.
Okay. Did you do anything before you left? Did you go anywhere else in the house?
I was just right there, and I wasn't gonna try and get away with it and all that stupid shit, like try and cover it up, because you can't cover that stuff up, and it was an accident. It's my fault. I don't know what.
Okay.
After that,
when I was driving home, I almost just wanted to crash the car. I honestly was about to call the cops. But I've never dealt with this before, and I was too scared, even though it's not a good enough excuse. But I wasn't trying to destroy evidence, but I just threw the gun away. But I know where it is if you guys need.
Where'd you throw it at?
It's over. I put it, in Rocky Creek, if you know where that's at. It's, you know, like where Whitetail and stuff like that is.
13th Street there.
I threw it in the water, but it's not really in the water. It's like right next to the kind of the bridge thing.
Okay. If I showed you an overhead picture of the area, do you think you could point it out?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll work on that in a minute. What kind of gun is it?
It was a 45.
You know what kind?
I think it was a Smith & Wesson.
Where did you get that from?
I've always had that when I lived in Arizona. I have my shotgun, I have a SCAR, and I have my pistol, and I always sleep with my pistol and everything, and until I found out the damage it could do to a friend.
Okay. What'd you do after you put the gun out there?
Went home. I didn't know who to call because I couldn't just call option on them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're my best friends, and then I just...
Did you call anybody? No?
I tried to call, what's his name? From Lawrence.
Brendan Lawrence?
Yeah.
Michael?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to call him. And then after, that happened, that's when I just started taking a whole bunch of pills. Because I don't,
How did you get over to her house this morning?
I drove my dad's truck, his truck that he had.
A Nissan? The silver one that's in the garage there at the house?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Okay. What were you wearing? Do you remember?
I was wearing black shorts with a green shirt.
Okay. Green shirt have anything written on it or anything?
I support the troops.
Okay. Do you know where those clothes are at now? Where are they?
They're at the house.
You know where at the house?
I'll have to think about it just because I'm...
Okay.
I'm not medicine. No.
Okay. Do you know what time it was you left your house this morning? The one out there in Andover?
But, it was like, I mean, I left earlier, like, I left at 8, but I wasn't over there or anything until, like, later.
Okay. Where'd you go when you left?
I just drove around to think of what I was gonna say to her, because I'm the kind of person that, if you really care about something, you know, you can have one last chance to, you know, pick your words wisely to do that.
She wouldn't communicate with you anymore by phone or anything, right?
She's blocking me from everything.
So if you were going to talk to her, the only way would be face to face? Okay. Did you try to contact her at school?
It hurt, but I respected what she wanted, and I mean, this was like the first kind of day I wasn't, like, sorry, but balls deep in just pain and everything, and, because originally she was supposed to, like, because my parents were out of town, she was supposed to take care of me on Sunday, so that's why I thought she might be able to, you know, at least hear me out, just post-surgery.
So at some point, though, you drive over to her house? To her folks' house?
Yeah, like, what, 10... I'm trying to think what time that happened. It was like, probably like 11:30, and I sat in my truck, not like at our house, but I just sat in my truck for a while, because it was just like...
In the neighborhood there? Or?
It was just very intimidating where I didn't want to.
You know whereabouts you were sitting at?
Like, when you go into the neighborhood, you can turn right, and it goes, like, all the way down to her house, and I kind of just parked before you turn right to go all the streets all the way down.
Okay.
Because I have to, you know, just gain composure and think about stuff before, because I'm an emotional person.
Okay. You think that was what time you think you pulled into the neighborhood?
About like 10:15, 10:30 or something like that.
Do you know what time she gets out of school today? No.
Well, usually, usually when we talk, she usually gets done. She, like, goes to class in the mornings, and then she's usually done. I mean, I don't know if she's home or not, but she's usually done by, like, 9:30 or so.
Okay. So when you're sitting there composing yourself, do you know if she was home yet then? You don't know?
And that was just because I figured, usually I don't know if she rode, sometimes she rides the bus to go, since Wichita State does their campus, I don't know how they do that, or if she drove, and so I was just waiting to see if she was going to be home or not, like driving or not. And
what happened? Did you see her come by, or?
Oh, no, after a while I just went over.
Where'd you park at?
I just parked on that where I was at over there, and I just walked.
Okay, so you parked on the street before her house, before you turned to go to her house?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you walked in. How far a walk do you think that is?
Not that far at all. I mean, like,
I mean, I'm not real familiar with the neighborhood, but
like, trying to think it, probably like trying to, if like, think of it in like football yards, it would be like, maybe like 20 yards.
okay. So pretty quick. Okay. Doesn't take you too long to walk down there. Did you see anybody out and about? The neighborhood?
Like in the neighborhood?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people out there walking and stuff like that.
Okay. Did you talk to any of them, or?
No, I don't. I'm the kind of person, I mean, if I don't really know you, I don't really talk, but I mean, I didn't have anything to hide, so.
Nobody seemed interested in you or anything? Okay. So what happens when you get to her house? What do you see when you get there on the outside?
I mean, her, the garage door is shut, I mean, and, I saw the dogs let out, so I knew that she was home, because her mom was at school, and, I mean, I think her mom was, I mean, I know her mom was at school, but I don't know if her dad was at work or not, so, I mean, I figured if he wasn't home, then he'd be there. If he wasn't working, he'd be there, so. But, I mean, that's.
How'd you see the dogs? Did you see them get let out, or just that they were outside?
They were outside, I saw them. She lets one of them, she has to walk him outside because she'll just run away. She's not that bright of a dog.
Which one's that?
The German Shepherd.
The bigger one?
Mhm.
Okay. Does she bring them out front or put them in the backyard?
She usually does Sasha in the backyard, but I saw Max. Max usually goes out in the front.
Okay.
Because he doesn't run away. He just goes pees and goes back inside. Or goes back, and so.
How was it that you saw Max? He came out the front door, or?
He was already out there just wandering in the yard.
And you showed up? Okay. Did you see Sasha at all at that point? No.
No.
Okay. So what happens? You come up, garage door's closed, there's Max. What do you do?
Well, I made a stupid decision, and I let him back inside and kind of just walked in.
You open the door yourself, I mean, it's unlocked. Is this the front door? Okay. And you just walk in? Okay. You let Max in? Okay. What happens then? What do you see when you first walk in the door, you let the dog in? What are you seeing?
I hear her get up, and then
Where was she at?
she was in the dining room.
Okay. At the table? Okay. Could you tell what she was doing?
I heard her listening to Family Guy. That's the only thing I could
Okay.
hear. I couldn't really tell. And she came around the corner, and that's when the whole thing happened.
Okay. Did you talk to her at all? Before?
I was going to, but then after that happened,
Sure.
No.
Okay.
We've now reached a critical point in Dane's narrative. His story has shifted significantly from his initial account. Earlier, Dane claimed the gun went off during a conversation with Rowena, but now he's painting a very different picture. In this new version, Dane admits to a series of deliberate actions that suggest a degree of premeditation. He parked his car some distance from Rowena's house, presumably to avoid detection. He then let himself in through the front door unannounced and admitted to shooting Rowena before even speaking to her. This revised account is far more damning. It implies Dane arrived with the intention of confronting Rowena, armed and unannounced. The lack of verbal interaction before the shooting further undermines his claim of an accidental discharge. As we move forward, watch how the detective hones in on this apparent accidental discharge. They'll scrutinize Dane's actions and statements to uncover the truth behind Rowena's tragic death.
So, as you walk up to the front door, because as I recall, you might have to walk up some steps. Okay. Where's the gun at then?
I just have it.
Still in the sling?
I just have it in my sling.
When do you take it out of your sling?
I mean, it's... Best way to kind of start ground it is it was just like... It was kind of out already, and I just kind of had it like just pointing down in here, so it would be like...
It was in your right hand?
Yeah.
So it's kind of in your hand, in the sling?
Not in my hand, but it was like... It was in here, and... Because I shoot left-handed,
Mm-hmm.
and so but...
So was it, I guess, was it muzzle into the sling? So like
Muzzle.
a cross-draw shoulder? Or a cross-draw holster?
The muzzle was facing out.
Okay.
It's not going to help, but...
Oh, no. It's all right. It is what it is, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about. Okay. So did you have the gun in your right hand? It was just laying next to
I
the
mean,
hand.
it was in my hand, but you came around and just startled me. Just pulled it.
Pulled the trigger or pulled the gun?
Yeah,
How did you shoot it?
it was like...
With your right hand? Okay.
Yeah, and it, like, I mean, I had it, like, aimed down, and so when I walked in, because I know, well, when she pretty much came around the corner, she just, like, jumped, just kind of, like, freaking me out, so I went like that. It was just like almost like a natural reaction.
How many times did you fire?
Just once.
So she comes around the corner, you walk in, you have the gun in your sling with your hand. I mean, your hand's holding it, I assume. Okay. And you must have your finger near the trigger.
Yeah, I never put it on it, just for kind of like the fire muzzle or trigger safety thing, and then it's just like, when she kind of just, I don't even know how we startled each other, but then it
just goes off.
just pulled it.
Why did you walk in?
I was on the medicine and I wasn't thinking logically.
I mean, what did you expect to occur when you walked in? She wasn't expecting you, was she? I mean, you hadn't made a plan to come over and talk to her.
Oh, because she would never talk to me or anything like that.
Did you knock on the door first?
No, I thought letting Max in would be like a sign that.
How many times had you been over to the house before?
To her house, like 3 or 4 times.
Okay. Always with her?
Help change her oil. I mean, we'd hang out, play with the dogs and stuff like that.
Okay. So you walk up, park down the block, and you walk up. Why didn't you just pull up, I guess, to the house? What did you think would happen if she saw you or saw your car?
Because she probably, well, I didn't know if her dad was gonna be there, and it was just gonna be like an automatic, just call the cops, honestly.
Okay.
I honestly don't know what
So you walk up, you walk in, and are we just talking almost instantly? You hear her get up, she comes around the corner, as you said, and the shot goes off? Or is there some time that you're in the house? How far into the house do you get, do you think?
not even like past that stair. Like, I wasn't even trying to aim. I wasn't anything. Like, it.
Okay. Did the gun function like it was supposed to? I mean, did it malfunction when you looked at it later? What did it look like?
No, when I always, this just isn't helping my case, but whenever I carry a pistol, I always carry it loaded, because the one time you know it's not loaded is when you're gonna need it, and I've had those experiences before, and so I always just carry it like that.
You think it's a Smith? Okay. Is it a double action only? Does it
There's
have
no
a
safety on it.
Does it have a hammer?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, no, it's the...
Or is it more like a Glock where it's just doesn't have a hammer or anything?
I think it has a hammer, but it's more of like a sliding.
It's still an automatic.
Yeah. But
Can you cock it with your thumb?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No. And plus, unless you're...
Do you know what the model number on it is? Or what any of the writing on the gun itself says?
The only thing I know is I think it says Smith and Wesson.
Okay. What color is it?
Black.
Okay. You know how many rounds it holds in the magazine?
12.
Okay. And then you said it was a .45. Do you know what brand of ammunition you shoot?
I've had the same ammunition for like a long time, because I just don't shoot it.
Okay. So you walk up, you go in the door, just take a step in, she's right there, and the gun goes off.
And I'm pulling the trigger.
Okay. Why? I mean, honestly, between us here, I mean, right now, man, why?
I pretty much accepted the fact that we were done. I didn't...
That doesn't make it easier.
No.
I mean, were you angry?
I was angry, but I mean, I've always been able to control my emotions. I mean, I've always been through breakups. I mean, there's nothing new about this.
You ever done anything like this on any other breakups? Never threatened an ex-girlfriend or...
I didn't even threaten her.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
he
understand.
says that, but I mean, like, no.
Okay. Well, what did you think? I mean, that's kind of important stuff to know. What were you thinking? What are you thinking as you get out of your car and you walk up to that house?
Maybe she'll just listen to me. I'm not even trying to, like, use it. Maybe more of just
You mean the gun?
yeah, it's one of those kind of things where it's, wouldn't use it, but then if, just listen to me for a second, then I'll leave kind of thing. I don't even know.
Make her sit still, not call the police, but listen to you.
Not even that. Just
Okay.
listen for 5 seconds.
I guess, and that's what I'm at. I guess, why do you need the gun to get her to do that? I mean, I understand your concern that you show up and they're just instantly going to call the cops. Her brother told you, right? If you don't quit pestering her, she might press charges on you. Didn't he tell you that?
Yeah, and that's what was so weird, was because it was like, all I did was I had to ask her, hey, like, how was your day? Like, and this is like in the evening, and I asked her, how's work? And then she just tells him that, and it's like, she didn't even tell me.
Okay. Now, when you took the pills this morning, was that at your mom's house there? Okay. Then you drove around for a while, trying to just think about how you were going to approach this, or what were you thinking about then?
I wasn't trying to hurt anyone, that's for damn sure, but...
Tell me this. Did it cross your mind that you were going to kill her? When you walked in to the house, when you walked up to the house and when you walked into the house, from what you're telling me, you had the gun so that you could convince her to take you serious, to listen to you. Okay. But that's why you had the gun with you, was to confront her so she would listen to you. Is that right? I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth. I just want to know what you're telling me, okay?
I don't want to hurt people. I just want people to fuck me over. All I do is help people. I go out of my way to help people. In Manhattan, I'll go pick up a homeless person and take him home and let him shower and get him food. I mean, that's what... I'm trying to get help through the VA. Fuck them, they don't help me.
Dane, tell me this. So let me get this correct, okay? You walk into the residence. All right, you got the gun. You showed us right here in your right hand.
Yeah.
You kind of go around the corner, and she comes around the corner. There are no words exchanged between you guys. She says she kind of startles you, and you kind of startle her. But there's no words exchanged, and then the shot goes off. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is over kind of by where the stairs are?
This is like... Yeah, once I come in, it's like right there, and she's like coming around the kitchen, so she's like right by the table. And so I'm like on the other side of the stairway, kind of like where that white couch is.
And I wasn't in there, so how far, basically, when this happens, how far are you guys away from each other? Is it from you to I or further? Or?
Like, this is like, I walk in, the stairway is right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a little couch right here, and then the table would be like that corner, like a little bit farther.
Yeah, so roughly 7, 8 feet, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I'm going to ask you if you would do is, I don't know how old this thing is. This is an old part of a pellet gun. Careful you don't want to pinch yourself with it because it doesn't stay together all the time. Can you show us how you were holding the gun?
So like, ow, that hurt. Like, pretty much I can have some of that, so it's probably just like that.
Pretty similar to that. Okay. And if you could kind of stand up, pretend like right here's the doorway as you're coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, so you step in enough that you can close the door,
Mm-hmm.
and then
So I was holding it like that. So I close it, and then like she popped around, and I just don't know what happened. It was just like that, like it jerked up, and then it just
okay.
my finger just slipped and just.
Okay. Okay. Now, the way you're showing in there was you didn't have a grip on the gun?
Yeah, like I wasn't. Just because like I'm not gonna walk in there kind of like that, but yeah, like I had it, like.
You had it gripped, but still kind of pointed downward. And then as she came around,
It just slipped, like I jerked up out of accident. And
okay.
In a pivotal moment, the detective hands Dane a toy gun, asking him to demonstrate the shooting. This seemingly simple request proves to be a masterstroke. Dane visibly struggles to replicate his earlier account. Ballistics analysts studying the bullet trajectory would later testify in court that the shot could not have been fired in the manner Dane described. If the gun had truly discharged accidentally from his shoulder strap, the bullet would have struck Rowena at chest height. Instead, Rowena suffered a fatal headshot, indicating the shot was fired from close range. Police also found a spent shell casing near the home's fireplace. This detail further unraveled Dane's story. Had the gun truly fired accidentally while concealed in his shoulder strap, the casing would have remained there, not ended up across the room. With all the evidence stacked up against Dane, he was arrested and charged with the murder of Rowena Irani. As the case moved to trial, two starkly different narratives emerged. The prosecution painted Dane as an obsessive ex-lover, unable to accept rejection. They argued that on that fateful day, Dane had deliberately set out to kill Rowena, his actions calculated and premeditated. The defense, however, offered a different perspective. They framed the shooting as an accidental discharge triggered by Dane's PTSD from his military service. They claimed his combat experience caused him to reflexively respond to perceived threats with force. The chaotic aftermath, they argued, wasn't a calculated cover-up, but rather a panicked spiral following this reflex response. After several days of deliberation, the jury reached their verdict. They found Dane guilty on all counts, including first-degree murder in the death of Rowena Irani. The judge sentenced Dane to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. An additional 43 months were added for aggravated burglary.